Yeah, sorry. Hello.
Hey. I don't know who that is.
You know who that is?
No.
Who's your girlfriend or your baby mama? Lady right here.
First of all, that's my wife, Marva.
Okay.
Marva.
Okay.
And who?
On May 10th, 2020, the Suisun City Police Department received a call from North Bay Medical Center about an individual who had potentially ingested nail polish remover. Officers Tiffany Kanoma and Cody Marler responded to the call and were dispatched to the Suisun City, California home of military veteran Sergeant Syra Hawkins.
Yeah, sorry. Hello.
Hey. I don't know who that is.
You know who that is?
No.
Who's your girlfriend or your baby? Copy. They're advising that this is not the right address.
Oh, welfare check for what?
No,
Hi, ma'am. What? Ma'am?
Y'all violating my rights right now.
Actually, we're not, dude.
Yes, you are, because
No,
you're
we're
not
not.
telling me who that is. I just said it to you.
Listen to me, dude. We're not violating your rights.
You are.
How?
Because
Which right? Which civil right are we violating?
Why are you raising your
We're
voice?
not violating
Why is he raising
anything,
his voice?
okay?
Why is he raising
So
his voice?
we are here on
Are you
a
threatening
welfare
me?
check.
I can go inside my house.
We are here on a welfare check
I
that
don't
was
know who
called in
Giselle
by
is.
North Bay over
You
a
said that
child.
already. I don't know what that.
Sergeant Hawkins asserts that the police are violating his rights, although he does not explain how, and the officers argue that they are not violating any rights by standing on his porch. The area immediately surrounding an individual's home, including the front porch, is known as the curtilage, and Supreme Court precedent protects curtilage as part of the home itself for Fourth Amendment purposes. In the 2013 case of Florida versus Jardines, the Supreme Court noted that, quote, "But when it comes to the Fourth Amendment, the home is first among equals. At the amendment's very core stands the right of a man to retreat into his own home and there be free from unreasonable governmental intrusion. This right would be of little practical value if the state's agents could stand in a home's porch or side garden and trawl for evidence with impunity. The right to retreat would be significantly diminished if the police could enter a man's property to observe his repose from just outside the front window. Nonetheless, under the so-called knock and talk doctrine, officers generally have the authority to enter a home's curtilage to knock on the door and ask questions without a warrant. The court explained in the Jardines case that, quote, "The knocker on the front door is treated as an invitation or license to attempt an entry. This implicit license typically permits the visitor to approach the home by the front path, knock promptly, wait briefly to be received, and then, absent invitation to linger longer, leave. Thus, a police officer not armed with a warrant may approach a home and knock, precisely because that is no more than any private citizen might do. However, this doctrine does not authorize officers to bypass the warrant requirement of the Fourth Amendment to conduct searches or engage in activity that exceeds the scope of accepted social norms. As the court detailed in the Jardines case, quote, "To find a visitor knocking on the door is routine, even if sometimes unwelcome. To spot that same visitor exploring the front path with a metal detector or marching his bloodhound into the garden before saying hello and asking permission would inspire most of us to, well, call the police. The scope of a license is limited not only to a particular area, but also to a specific purpose." Applying this standard, lower courts have found certain police behaviors to exceed the scope of the implied license to knock at an individual's door without a warrant. For For instance, in the 2022 case of Cupp versus Smith, the Northern District of California found that an officer exceeded the scope of the implied license to knock when he approached the garage area, entered the garage door, spoke with the homeowner's worker, walked through the carport, and took multiple photographs of the garage and surrounding area. Similarly, the Florida First District Court of Appeals held in the 2013 case of Powell versus State that an unconstitutional search occurred when police officers stepped off the front step of a mobile home and looked into a window they could not see through from the front step. The court explained that, quote, even when governmental agents are engaging in otherwise lawful knock and talks, they can exceed the scope of a reasonable visit to a front door or porch through physical actions that encroach into areas in which the resident has a reasonable expectation of privacy. But the decision also noted that, quote, under certain circumstances, implicit permission may exist to look through an uncurtained window while standing on a front porch momentarily to see whether the resident is approaching the door, assuming no unreasonable means or devices are used. In this situation, while a court would almost certainly conclude that the officers did not violate Sergeant Hawkins's rights by knocking on the door to ask questions, it is less clear how a court would view the officers walking over to look in and knock on the front window under the walk and talk doctrine. However, as we will discuss later in this episode, a court would likely determine that this was not a violation of Sergeant Hawkins's Fourth Amendment rights under the exigent circumstances doctrine.
I don't know what that means.
Stop talking, let me talk.
I don't have to
Over a
stop
child
talking.
that
Freedom of speech, right?
ingested,
Why is he I don't like him.
a person
He's
that
raising his voice at me
ingested
right now.
or nail polish. Okay?
Okay, so
We come here, your baby's right there.
Okay,
We're trying to check on the
I'm gonna talk
kid.
to you. First of all, you fucking came to my house and said, is that my girlfriend or my baby mama? That's my wife. So that's disrespectful starting
Okay.
off.
All right, sir. So
That was disrespectful starting off.
Okay.
And then
I
he's raising his
understand.
voice at me.
I
Okay.
understand.
So now I can raise my voice,
Let's
right?
go. No, you can eat a dick.
What's his problem? No, I need y'all. What's his problem?
Okay.
Nah, I need y'all badge numbers. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'll give you my badge number. But so the reason we're here is to
Now
make
you're
sure
telling me the
somebody
reason
is
after you
okay.
told me to eat a dick.
Sir?
So you told me to eat a dick, right? Marler?
I messed up. I apologize.
Now that you on film, you messed up.
No,
So
you
you
can record.
haven't violated any of my
Sir,
rights.
no,
The
sir.
first thing you said to me coming here was,
So,
is
sir.
that my baby mama or my girlfriend?
Sir,
Then he
so
started
we
raising
were
his
called
voice
to
at
call
me.
from North Bay.
Pause. I need your name and your badge number.
Officer Conma 107.
Thank you. I need your name and your badge
Officer
number.
Marler 102. We received
He
a
said
call
he's not
from North
violating
Bay.
any of my rights.
Okay.
Yet he came
We
to my
wanna make
house
sure
and
the kid
said,
is okay.
is that my baby mama or my girlfriend?
We want to make sure
That's
the
the
kid
first
is
thing he
okay.
said to me. Then he's raising his voice at me.
We want to
Ma'am,
make sure the kid is okay.
We're
You
here
told me
to check
eat
on
it.
a female.
That's because I'm
Okay?
retarded.
Is your child
Did
okay?
you-
What's
did
your
you
name?
not- Did you or did you not tell me
Is
to
your
eat a dick?
child okay? Did your child
You don't want to answer because that's what he said to me, Marler. And she's at my window. I told you not to go to my window. Close the blinds.
Do you have a 14-year-old son?
Close the blinds.
Hold on, sir.
Close the blinds.
Sir, do you have a 14-year-old son?
Close the blinds. Close the blinds. I'm not going in the house.
Are your
Close the
children okay,
blinds.
ma'am? Are your children okay?
Okay.
Do they fucking
Okay.
look okay, guy? He's asking if my children are okay. Who the fuck is that? Who
Okay.
the fuck are y'all talking about?
We're gonna leave now.
Give me one
Why? Because I
second.
gotta eat a dick? That's why you leaving
We're
now?
gonna leave now. I don't know who a 14
My family was here all day. We had a good fucking day. You're here telling me to eat a dick.
kid is. I don't know who the 14-year-old is.
Okay.
I don't fucking either.
Okay.
I told you I did 9 years in the military.
Okay, we
You told me to
appreciate
eat a
your
dick.
service.
So
Okay,
thank
give
you
me a
for telling me to eat a
second. Can you
dick.
please-
After
can
I
you
fucking
please
served
walk
you for
away?
9 years, you fucking dick. How about
Marler.
you get the
I served-
fuck off
I
my
served as
property?
well.
Marler.
I don't give a fuck. You were probably a piece of
Go ahead.
shit. If you served and you telling
Okay.
people to eat a dick, you probably was a piece of fucking shit.
All right.
You can get the fuck out of here. That's
Okay.
what you can do, Marler. You eat a dick.
Okay, let me explain because we may
You
have
said
been.
you told me to eat a dick.
Listen.
Can I explain to you?
guys, listen. I need you to come down so you're not scared. of
Okay.
kids, okay?
All right.
Okay.
You're right.
So
All right.
we
I got it.
we got a call.
Now,
I was
after all
trying.
of that,
We
now
were
she's
trying to
telling me what
explain
happened.
from the.
After Officer Marler directs a vulgar insult towards Sergeant Hawkins, Sergeant Hawkins becomes understandably enraged and begins to direct profanities back at Officer Marler. While Officer Marler's conduct was not criminal, his behavior was in clear violation of Suisun City Police Department policies. Policy 323, which details standards of conduct for officers in the department, lists discourteous, disrespectful, or discriminatory treatment of any member of the public, the use of obscene, indecent, profane, or derogatory derogatory language while on duty or in uniform, and any other conduct which any member knows or reasonably should know is unbecoming a member of this department or tends to reflect unfavorably upon this department or its members as potential causes for disciplinary action. Sergeant Hawkins was well within his rights to express his displeasure with Officer Marler's conduct through the use of profanities and insults. And as the Supreme Court explained in the 1987 case of City of Houston versus Hill, quote, "The First Amendment protects a significant amount of verbal criticism and challenge directed at police officers."
No!
Did you go to North Bay today?
What the fuck is that? Get in the house. What the fuck are y'all talking about? Nobody knows what y'all are talking about.
Well, you're not letting me explain.
You never explained. You started asking questions. He said, is that my girlfriend or my baby mama?
Okay, I apologize for that. Okay, I'm here to clarify. So, address, correct?
That is this
Okay,
address.
so it may have been a miscommunication between North Bay and our dispatch. So we got a call that we needed. Okay, a 3-year-old was brought into the hospital because she ingested nail polish remover. Okay?
We don't know anything about
Okay.
any of that.
And that is absolutely fine. So this
I
just got a
know,
little out of hand.
But you don't come to somebody's house and say, is that your baby mama or your girlfriend? You
Right,
don't
and I
eat a dick.
understand. I completely understand
You're
that.
supposed to be
It was
professional.
I'm trying my best to be professional.
You're doing fine. But
Okay.
that guy, I don't know what the fuck side of the bed he woke up on.
Okay, I understand, but
You
so
don't come to
he's
somebody's
sleeping.
house and disrespect them like that.
I completely understand.
I don't know what the hell y'all talking about.
That's why I had
Put
him sent
yourself in
away.
my shoes. 2 cops knock on your door. Boom, boom, boom. I'm in there having a good time with my wife
Okay.
of 5 years.
After Officer Kanama asks Officer Marler to step away, she explains to Sergeant Hawkins that they were sent to his home on a welfare check regarding a potential medical emergency, and that they must have been dispatched to the wrong address. A welfare check occurs when the police respond to a call or other request to check on an individual's well-being or safety. Welfare checks are not criminal investigations, but they are related to police officers' so-called community caretaking function, which the Supreme Court defined in the 1976 case of Katie versus Dombrowski as police duties that are, quote, totally divorced from the detection, investigation, or acquisition of evidence relating to the violation of a criminal statute. Although the Katie decision involved a vehicle and did not apply to homes, after it was published, many lower courts interpreted the holding as creating a, quote-unquote, community caretaking exception to the warrant requirement that allowed officers to enter homes without a warrant for a non-investigatory purpose, such as to prevent a suicide or to conduct a welfare check on an older individual who's been out of contact. However, the Supreme Court clarified in the 2021 case of Caniglia versus Strom that there is no standalone community caretaking exception to the warrant requirement for homes, and that officers cannot enter a home or the surrounding curtilage while performing a community caretaking function unless an exception to the warrant requirement applies. Still, many warrantless entries that had previously been justified under the community caretaking doctrine could still be justified under the exigent circumstances doctrine, which, as Justice Kavanaugh explained in his concurring opinion, quote, allows officers to enter a home without a warrant in certain situations, including to fight a fire and investigate its cause, to prevent the imminent destruction of evidence, to engage in hot pursuit of a fleeing felon or prevent a suspect's escape, to address a threat to the safety of law enforcement officers or the general public, to render emergency assistance to an injured occupant, or to protect an occupant who is threatened with serious injury. Here, because the officers were responding to a call regarding a potential medical emergency, it is likely that a court would find that the exigent circumstances doctrine applied, and that the officers could look in the window or even enter the home if no one answered the door without violating the Fourth Amendment.
So,
Y'all want me to, like, quote what statute you guys are violating? I'm not one of those people, but I'm pretty sure I can go on Google and see if
we
this
have
is
every
legal
right
what
to be
you
here
did.
to check on somebody, and you have the right to Google us and make sure.
So you
Okay.
have the right to be here and check on somebody, right?
Yes,
Did I have to come out my door?
you did not. We needed to
Exactly.
come check on the
Exactly.
female. Okay, I'm
And I
leaving
told
now, sir.
I gave you an instruction.
Okay.
To bring on my window, but you did.
Have a good night, sir.
Shortly after Officer Kanoma left Sergeant Hawkins' home, Officer Marler returned, knocked on the door, and apologized for his prior behavior. However, Sergeant Hawkins was not appeased, and he posted the footage he recorded of the interaction on his YouTube channel. In response to public outcry, the department issued a public statement on May 13, 2020 that read, quote, over the weekend, one of our Suisun City police officers was involved in an unfortunate interaction with a resident while responding to a call for service. During that incident, the officer involved used language that was not appropriate and not within the standards of the Suisun City Police Department. The City of Suisun City and the Suisun City Police Department want to assure our residents that this type of behavior is not tolerated by any measure. The statement also quoted Chief Aaron Roth as saying, quote, "This is an unfortunate incident that we will use as a learning opportunity to do better as we continue to work with our community to make Suisun City a better place for everyone. On behalf of the Suisun City Police Department, I would like to publicly apologize to the residents involved in this incident and to the entire community." As a result of the incident, Officer Marler was released from his position at the department, but it's unclear whether he was terminated or if he was allowed to resign. Overall, Officer Marler gets an F for making disrespectful assumptions about Sergeant Hawkins' relationship with his wife, using profane and vulgar language towards a citizen, and displaying a complete lack of professionalism throughout the encounter. While Officer Marler did eventually apologize, his conduct completely derailed the interaction from the beginning and prevented the mistaken address from being quickly identified. Instead of working to locate the correct address for the individual who may have ingested nail polish remover, the officers were required to spend valuable time resolving Sergeant Hawkins' well-warranted complaints. In situations involving medical emergencies, this sort of delay could be fatal, and it easily could have been avoided here if Officer Marler had simply behaved professionally. Officer Konoma gets a B, because although there is certainly room for improvement in the way she and Officer Marler initiated this interaction, she maintained a professional demeanor throughout the interaction, attempted to de-escalate the situation, and remained calm while both Officer Marler and Sergeant Hawkins lost their tempers. That being said, it certainly would have been helpful if Officer Konoma had explained the reason they were knocking as soon as Sergeant Hawkins opened the door, instead of immediately interrogating him, which made him defensive from the start. I hope that Officer Konoma learns from this encounter and improves her questioning techniques for future welfare checks and other similar situations. Sergeant Hawkins also gets a B, because while his angry response to Officer Marler's conduct escalated the situation and delayed the resolution of the interaction, his outrage was completely understandable, and his expressions of anger were protected by the First Amendment. As Sergeant Hawkins pointed out, he was not the one wearing a uniform, and I cannot fault him for making a stand against rude and insulting conduct from a police officer. This interaction illustrates the essential role officers play in setting the tone of an encounter, and had Officer Marler not made disrespectful statements from the beginning of the interaction, it likely would have been resolved quickly and without incident. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't